Hello, all my lovely cameos, and welcome back to my channel. This is Violin, and today we're going to be unboxing. This is the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell, and it's my first Oracle deck. I'm very excited to show you guys what it looks like, and let's get into it. So this deck comes with a box, and I've actually read through part of the guidebook inside, and it can be used for spreads and for your altar. The idea is you put the cards inside of the V shape, like on top, like this, or like around it, in order to use it for your altar if you want to do any spreads. I'm not particularly into that yet, but I'll see how often I use it. It's really just, I love the pastels and the colors. And part of why I was drawn to this is that roses are one of my favorite flowers, so this is really beautiful, and I really like the artist for Rebecca Campbell's decks. They do such a wonderful job. It's really very pretty. But to start off, I thought this would be a fun one, and as I said before, it comes with a guidebook. So, going through, there's a table of contents, but then they actually get into the cards. There's some history about the rose and using it in divination and stuff. Anyway, very beautiful. So I'm going to be using that as a reference. Now, let's get into the actual cards themselves. I'm really excited. So this is the attunement card. It's used to connect with the oracle, and to use it to help you channel, I suppose, whatever is the oracle is centered around. So this is just like a little prayer, I think. It's supposed to help you like get more in tune with the oracle. And I'm not particularly sure if the ASMR is working for this video, but you know what? We're just gonna roll with it. And we're just gonna go through these one by one. So to start off, first we're just gonna look at the back for a little bit. And like I said, the artist does a really great job of the pastels. I love the very soft images. I got first. Actually, we're gonna start from here, alphabetical order. So this one is After the Rain. Silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, acceptance. And this kind of looks like after, trials and tribulations that you've gone through, it seems like. roses don't go running all over the place, reaching, grabbing. Rather, they rely on the bees to come to them. The rose is never reaching for the bee. It's never grasping or overstretching. It embraces what it is fully and allows life to come to it. It receives it fully. It doesn't open and close according to who walks by. It opens and blooms regardless. So this one is about opening yourself up to the possibility of abundance, to basically like know what your desires are and open yourself up to receive what is good in your life, to open yourself up to receive what it is you are working towards. And that's come to me. Next, we have the crowning. This one is initiation, thresholds, birth, rebirth, a seat at the table. There comes a time when the flower knows that it can no longer remain in the protective constraints of the bud. Somehow it needs to trust in the birthing energy and surrender to the unknown of the bloom. The same birthing energy exists within all of nature and in birth, both physical and metaphorical. It's an initiation for the mother as well as the child, who transitions from the world or world of the womb to a whole new one on earth. So this one is basically, this is one that's like stepping out into the unknown. Some of us are sometimes afraid to step out and just start on something new, try something new, because it's new and we don't know what's going to meet us on the other side when we try it. So this is encouraging us to not be afraid, to just do it. Just step out. And that's the crowning. Next, we Next, we have the Great Mother. This one is surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. This one says, the Great Mother ushered you in when you took your first breath, and she'll be there when you draw your last. She knows how challenging life on earth can be, that at times being human can be painful, lonely, and confusing, that the polarity and separation can be difficult when your soul remembers the oneness of Source, but at the same time, it can be incredibly glorious and sweet. So this one is basically kind of like giving your ears to God. This one, and it's about like embracing both the good and the bad, no matter what comes your way, because both can be helpful and good for you. You just need to know how to use it. Get through it. That's the Great Mother. Next, we have healing is happening. And this one is, you're not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. This one says, healing is happening every moment of every day. You're returning to your true state at every moment of every day. Call in your support team of people who can hold you with that, who can trust in the grace of your natural state. A true healer knows that they're not the one doing the healing. Rather, they're holding the vision of the return to wholeness, knowing that wholeness isn't a stagnant state. So this one is basically reassurance that whatever you've gone through, after you've gone through whatever painful things you've done, been through, it's just basically reassurance that you are healing from it, that you are getting better day by day. Sometimes it doesn't look like a straight line. Actually, most of the time, it doesn't look like a straight line, and it shouldn't. There are going to be ups and downs, and I think it's important in those downs that you remember that you are still healing. The downs are part of the process too. It's okay to feel it all, to not harden yourself, but soften and accept it. And that is healing is happening. Next, we have healing the mother line. And this one is healing ancestral work on the mother line growing up. It says, so many of our ancestral lines have experienced brutal persecution and separation from the sacred feminine. We've been starved of the Great Mother's unwavering embrace, and instead told to look only to a male god in the sky. So many were not taught to see the sacred in interesting that I heard this one lady was talking about how the first human was actually, it's actually, you were talking about what they say is the first man. The narrative has been that the first human was a male. But digging deeper into the original text, apparently that's not exactly the case. The first human was a human, and when male and female are created, or at least when the first human was split to form Adam and Eve, it was a split in half. Instead of the woman just being created from the man's rib. That's actually how the text says it. So, if humanity was made in the image of God, what's to say that God is not both masculine and feminine? So, I think that's just really something interesting about this oracle. And you think, oh, why did you choose this one? Well, I think that we've got to confront those difficult truths sometimes, things that we probably were wary of or didn't want to think about because we didn't think that they were true, or we thought they were lies, that we thought they were swaying us from what we thought was right. But sometimes we just gotta face those difficult truths. So that's kind of what I like about this. It holds us accountable, which I think is something that we really need in this time. Alright, but you're not here for that. You're here for the oracle, so let's get back to it. The next card we have here is held. This one is sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, community. And it says, when we leave home, we must find something to hold us. When our lover leaves, we must find something to hold us. When the job ends, we must find something to hold us. When our parents die, we must find something to hold us. When we think there's nothing holding us, it's an invitation to find new, supportive ground. This is where we can discover the sureness of the soil, the holding of the roots, and reach out to our community for extra holding. We were never meant to grow on this earth alone. So this one is about having your support group, having people that you can fall back on to help you and assist you, that you can help and assist. Basically having those people around you that you can rely on, kind of like a pack almost. And that is held. Actually try and see if these will help you see it better against the box. Okay. says, these times, these changing, divisive times, your soul chose to be here right now for this. You're a part of a collective team led by the goddess, by the mother of us all, to reweave the thread of the rose back into the tapestry of humanity, to make spaces where all people feel cherished and safe, to heal and be healed from the destructive patterns of patriarchy, to be part of the return of the goddess to the earth. So this one is kind of about committing yourself to others and to this world that we live in, kind of being called to be stewards of this planet and neighbors to everyone around us. And that's Lineage of the Rose. Next we have Morning Dew. This one is clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. And it says, healers from all corners of the earth believe in the incredible healing quality of the morning dew. They believe that it possesses the same healing properties as the plants themselves, the dew capturing their essence and glowing potency. Practices such as walking barefoot on the morning dew, drinking from the petals of flowers, and placing dew on the body are thought to bring about powerful shifts in healing. So this one is kind of this one's about taking a perspective shift. So looking at a situation from a different viewpoint, kind of gaining understanding through new eyes, you might say, or like through a different lens. It's just about getting a better understanding by trying a different point of view. And that's Morning Dew. Next we have Mother Rose. And this one is returning to each other, compassion, humanity. This one says, we're living in a great time of great division, learning and unlearning. We're together mending the thread of humanity. This is a card of returning to unity, by facing what's been broken, separated, and severed, to realize that we're all human, and while harm has been done, what's needed now is for us to acknowledge what's happened and endeavor to find a way to return to each other, to realize that it's possible for two people to have a different experience at the same time, and that both can be true. So this one open. Next, we've got plant yourself here. This is integration, embodiment, grounded action. It says, invite your soul to come all the way in, from your knees to your nose, your cheeks to your toes. Fully embody your life. Drop the defensive walls. Let your soul land and occupy each and every cell. Anchor all parts of you to the here and now. Life is here even when death is here. Birth isn't possible without it, and you came here to birth as well. Don't you remember? Fully commit to living this life. Put your 2 feet into your ancient soul, wholly and completely in. So this one is kind of about grounding yourself. I know that sometimes a lot of us want to escape. I kind of struggle with that myself. I get very much inside my own head whenever I'm not, whenever I'm just, how do I say it? I tend to spend a lot of time inside my head. Not so much interacting with the world beyond what I need. And this is calling us to not escape, to feel every part of reality and really connect with reality as it is, even when we don't want to sometimes. So that's plant yourself here. What interesting. It's kind of interesting to see what the cards and the guidance are like. Alright, next we have rapture. And this one is sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, pleasure. And it says, many patriarchal religions have placed a shameful cloak around sensuality, sex, pleasure, ecstasy, rapture, and sexuality. One of the most natural, pleasurable parts of life has become conditional and judged. The rose wants us to heal from this and to remember that pleasure, sensuality, sexual preference, and expression of desire can be some of the most sacred, miraculous things about being a human on earth. This card is about basically, this card is about accepting yourself and the way you express and receive love. I know a lot of people, especially in the US, have grown up with purity culture, and I, in fact, grew up with purity culture as well. So it's been interesting to just kind of be accepting of sex, be more accepting of sex and sensuality. It's not something that I think, it's not necessarily something that should be shameful. It wasn't created to be shameful. It was created to be an expression of love, which I think is really beautiful. And I think so many people nowadays just twist it into something it's not meant to be. So this card is really about going back to the root of it, going back to what it was meant to be, just enjoying this gift of pleasure and enjoyment. And that's rapture. let's release the petals. Next, we have the return. This one is a new story. You decide. Alignment. It's coming together. It says, you've waited patiently for this moment. You've likely been working on the inner for some time, and now the outer is beginning to come into an alignment. As changing beings, we are in a never-ending growth cycle. This doesn't mean that we're constantly in bloom. No, this means that we're constantly changing. This card is like the bloom, however, it's more powerful than that. It heralds the coming and going of a new way, a whole new way of being. An entirely new story has been written. So this card is about shifts, like passing, not quite milestones, but like you get to a point where you see how much you've grown, how much further you've got to grow. It's like taking a step over to the next. It's like moving on to the next part of your story. Like it said, it's about blooming, but it's greater than that. Blooming is like something coming into fruition, and the return is more about the change that you're part of creating change. That things are aligning for you, and not only are you seeing things come to fruition, but they're coming into fruition in a whole better way. So that's the return. Next, we have the reunion. This is soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, friendship. It says, the rose doesn't open and close according to who's walking by. She reveals her beauty to the world without waver. You're here to do that too. There are people who, at a soul level, chose to walk alongside you. But for them to find you, you must first let them see you. Reveal yourself to the world. Open your heart and mind to collaboration rather than competition. So this one is about kind of like opening yourself up to being yourself and letting who you are be used to work together with others. You will find your people by being yourself. It's kind of what this is about when you release all those preconceived notions about having to fit in, having to do certain things to be liked, because that's not who you truly are. You will find your people if you open yourself up to being yourself and to working with others. So that's what the reunion is about. Next, we have the rose garden. This one is innocence, forgiveness, be gentle with yourself. And it says, if you feel as if you've done something wrong without knowing what you've done, if you feel ashamed about hurting someone, if you're finding it hard to forgive yourself, this card is gently calling you to release any shame, judgment, or bad feelings, to do what you need to do to let go and make amends, to remember that you're human, and as a human you're here to learn and grow, and so is everyone else. So this one's about forgiving yourself. A lot of the times we can ask for forgiveness and people will give it to us, resistance to change does this too. So this one is basically about understanding what what aspect of yourself might be out of alignment with being yourself. It's calling you to um, it's calling you to be in harmony with all parts of yourself. To look at anything that doesn't feel alignment and trust in the tapestry of your life. So basically like trusting in God's plan. And that's the Rhoda Venus. Next we have the rose thread. This one is inner call, soul led, the mystic, living courageously. This one, it says, this is the card of the mystic, the one who's in touch with the depths of the inner world and the inner weavings of the world and beyond, way beyond. You're dedicated to listening to the mysterious voice whispering within, to following their intuition and living in accordance with that, to living by being guided by the rose thread. So this card is kind of about when things seem shaky and you can't quite tell where you're going, trusting in God that there's a plan and you're being led through it, to having faith that you will get through things one way or another, being courageous about it. Maybe you're afraid, but bravery is going through in spite of that fear. And that's the rose thread. We're more than halfway through, guys. Just a bit more. Let me know if you like the ASMR aspect. If there's enough ASMR, or if I should do more. I should do more sounds. Interesting to see what the video turns out like. Next we have Rose Without Thorns. This one is, you have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. And it says, you have a right to your joy, and the rose without thorns wants you to take every ounce of it in right now, to celebrate and lose yourself in the sweetness of your life. This is a rare moment in time of deep peace and enjoyment. You are being called to taste all that it has to offer, to drink it all in. You deserve every drop. You've worked for this moment. Embrace it now with open arms. It's safe for you to Let's trust the seasons. Next, we have the wastelands. This is sustainability. Slow down, tend to your garden. It says this is the most powerful card in the deck. It's a wake-up call for us to stop the destructive behavior that's resulting in us becoming brittle and unable to live in a sustainable way. The sacred feminine is abundant. She knows that the earth can provide for what we need, and that she doesn't need to take more than she needs. She tends the earth around her, within her. She's the keeper of balance and the protector of all living things. So this one is about shedding those things that, like it says, are not sustainable, that don't serve you, that don't help you serve God and others. Letting go of those things that are harmful to you or just unhelpful in general. Letting yourself go back to letting yourself come back to what is sustainable, what is helpful, what lets you serve in your best way. And that is the wastelands. Next we have We Are Nature. It says becoming grounded, embodiment, living in connection. We've built a world on top of the world. If you look up the word nature in a dictionary, you'll see a reference to plants, animals, and landscapes as opposed to humans. We speak of getting into nature or getting grounded as something we need to do. We've forgotten that we don't exist in nature. We are nature. So this one is about connecting with the world around you, with reality, and with yourself, letting yourself be present, and letting yourself touch some grass. Some people, a lot of people don't touch grass. And I know it's kind of a meme, but it's also so important. It's really very important that we're able to smell the roses, feel the sun on our skin, touch the water, feel the breeze, taste the honey, just get back into life, getting into living things, and by extension, growing your empathy, growing your compassion, and your connection with others. So that's We Are Nature. Next, we have Whispers of Mother Earth. This one is creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. It says creativity and intuition come from the same sacred place. They can't be reproduced. They occur when we find ourselves flowing with the rest of life. Earth is a planet of creativity, and yet so many of us have forgotten how to truly create. So much of humanity has been raised to consume. We're so focused on more and more and more that we've forgotten how to grow sustainably. Our consumption is killing us. So this one is about expressing yourself, letting yourself create, letting yourself make things, letting yourself make art or music, or letting yourself dance, letting yourself sing, letting yourself connect with others and inspire others through creating. As a content creator, I write, I draw, I'm making these videos. express yourself and to help others express themselves and to connect with others and to connect with yourself and with God. That's Whispers of Mother Earth. And this is the final card. We made it to the end of the deck, hooray. This is the Wild Rose. It's do it your way, embrace your uniqueness, untamed. It says, if someone says that you're not normal, say thank you. If someone says that what you're doing isn't normal, say naturally. The wild rose knows that no one rose is the same as another. She doesn't try to bloom in a neat row according to a schedule. She doesn't open and close according to who walks by. She trusts her timing and she blooms with wild abandon. She's resilient. She knows who she is. So this one is about accepting yourself and being yourself. Not trying to keep yourself to the conventions of what is normal, what is not normal. Kind of like that saying, normal is a setting on a washing machine, not people. Roses don't come with normal settings.